Hey guys, happy Saturday. It's operations time over here. Hope everybody has had a good week. We're going to be pretty much, I think, working in the yard over here. I got my coffee going over here. I got all my car cards. I got everything all set up over here. And we're going to just kind of pick up where we left off over here, as we always do. I'm going to set the camera down over here because we're basically going to be running in and out of the yard right here, I think, for at least for the moment here. As you recall from the last video, we had our local guys come in over here. Let me pick you up again here and shake you around. Right here, they're sitting all back there. There's a new guy and Mr. Samford. Anyway, we got to get that guy disconnected and then have the hauler haul all this stuff out of the yard, or off the layout, out to staging kind of thing. So let's get those guys fired up. I think what we can do is basically just disconnect the locomotives here. We'll leave these cars right here. There we go. We're gonna move the locomotives out of the way. Not that they're really in the way. Here, let's go take a closer look here. That's the one downside of having all these cars in the yard. Kind of hard to see stuff, especially if you stick the camera behind a palm tree. And let's see, here we go. We'll go ahead and park these guys. So they'll go that way, then that way. Yep, that's all good. Then we'll hook up the hauler. Like I said, we'll get all this stuff out of the yard. The yard will be completely cleared out, which will be nice. Oops, something happened. Oh, look at that. I always got to screw something up, don't I? There we go. Let's keep on going here. Anyway, yeah, we'll clean up the whole yard. And then we'll go over. I'll show you how we're just going to pick out. We're going to pick out industries that we're going to switch in the next couple of locals. I'll get this guy out of the way here. All right, now we can switch that. I think. Yes. There we go. Good enough. Good enough. There, new guy. Figure. It's the new guy that screwed that up. Anyway, while we watch these guys run out over to the other end of the yard, it's finally cooled down over here. We are having our first kind of big rainstorm of the season. Although it's not very big, but you know, everybody over here makes any rain over here is like, you know, the biggest thing on the planet. It's kind of stupid. People here, you get so used to not having rain and it's just, well, sunny all the time, that when it does rain, everybody kind of freaks out. It's actually quite funny to watch. Being that I'm, originally from the East Coast, it don't freak me out that much. Though, I have been pretty acclimated. Let me just shut this guy down. Anyway, I've been pretty acclimated to living in the Southwest since I've been here for quite a while. That it was kind of funny. It was raining, I don't know, for like maybe 8 hours or something yesterday. The first 8 hours of it. And both me and my wife, we kind of, after about 6 hours or so, we kind of look at each other and I'm like, you know what? This is pretty pathetic. It's been like kind of, you know, overcast and rainy for like just only like a couple of hours, 6 hours or so. And it's having a psychological effect on us. All right, let me see here. Let's get this guy, the hauler, fired up over here. We'll get all the lights on. Anyway, yeah, it was kind of funny. I was like, I'm actually slightly like depressed. It's been raining for like 6 hours. How silly is that? All right, I gotta do some turnouts over here. All right, so now the plan is, let's get that all set. The hauler is gonna pick up all of these cars and we're gonna take it out to staging. Let's get out of here. Hopefully we have got enough space over here. It's a little tight right there by that boxcar. We might have to kind of fat finger it. Yeah, it's probably a little bit too tight. I'm gonna say those cars sort of rolled down a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Anyway, but it's a new day here in Southern California again. Nice and rainy. I think what we're going to do first is let's go ahead and pick up that first line of cars, starting with that boxcar. Right there's good. And we're going to have to pick up the other line of cars sitting next to it there. Mostly tank cars, all empties there. Let's see if this will work. It'll be kind of on a curve. Bad sheet. There we go. There we go. We got all good and connected there. Let's see, brakes off. Let's pull this little line out. While we're pulling out here, let's quiet down the yard consist. I can hear him in the back there. There we go. Well, and as always, hopefully everybody's had a good week. Been busy over here as usual. You know, they say when you're retired, you're all of a sudden you got like 10 million more things to do. It's busier than ever. Used to just have to go to work and then come home and relax. It seems like now there's like one thing after another. I gotta make a list of all the projects I gotta do. And that's not counting all the stuff on the layout here. Like one of these days, I'll actually get our little snow-covered plaster mountains or hills over here done. Alright, let's set the camera down here. We'll grab this last line of cars, get them out of here, and then like I said, I thought I'd just show you, well, you know, kind of what my workflow is kind of here. Ooh, right there is good. Once we've done all of our locals like we have over the past, well, a couple months probably, and we've gotten all the cars back into the yard here, we get our hauler to take them all out to staging. And once we get out to staging, right there's good. Once we get out to staging, we gotta like figure out what we're gonna do next. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, we're ready to roll here, I think. Great. There we go. Oh, by the way, you know what? Remember a couple videos ago I was saying, oh, I'm gonna try to do like, you know, shorter videos and whatnot. And then the last video, which was kind of funny because it was the shortest one. I said, nah, I'm just going to do videos as long as it takes, whatever. As long as, you know, whatever it takes to do what I'm doing that day. And it ended up being like the shortest video because, well, that's just the way it was. Now, sometimes when you're kind of playing around over here, I think we definitely got to go over there because I'm not quite sure of the turnout situation in the rest of the layout, and we got to get this guy going into the staging, quote, imaginary staging area. But what was I gonna say? I forgot. Oh yeah, see, he's already going down some weird way. Hold on. I can see him going down one of the other tracks. Let's stop right there, because I don't think I changed my turnouts. I did not. Ooh, look at that. He would have been heading, instead of taking the main line over on the left, he's going down the right, but at least we stopped him close enough here. We'll just take the little run around here. Maybe there's a little bit of track work going on the other line there. Here, I'll set the camera down. You can watch him through the trees here, nice and steady, like while I get my coffee. Double checking all my turnouts everywhere. And did I change it? We gotta change that one there too, huh? Man, I gotta clean that track right there. I wasn't holding the button. The horn was just stuck and going. All right, let's put the camera down over here in the junkyard and watch this guy go around. You know, not very talkative this morning, but actually, because we're just running out to staging and there's not a whole bunch to talk about right now. And I'm double checking all my turnouts as we're going down the line here. Right, I'm going to put my coffee dangerously up on the shelf over here. We'll run this guy out. Hopefully my coffee don't fall into the yard. And we'll do a little bit more chit-chatting here as once we actually get into staging over here. Oh yeah, that track is... It's not that it's dirty. I think the connections right there isn't very good because, I've said that before. None of this track in this little corner here is ballasted. It's just floating around over here with a couple nails in it. I got to still ballast all that stuff all the way across the bridge here and right up to that point. All right, I think what I'm gonna do, put the camera over here. Let's see, hold on, let me put my controller down. I'll prop you up a little bit here, there we go. Just so you can see what I'm doing. Actually, let me get my coffee down before I freak out. It's making me a little nervous there. All right. Now then, let's get all of these cars into staging, which is up here. And now I still got to do my staging track, as always. All right, right there is good enough. Basically, I just start taking all my cars and getting them off the layout here. Kind of in some order. Tank cars with tank cars, that sort of thing, unless I don't have enough room. I gotta back up over here. Let's do this. running out of space over here. And I really got to clean up in here. I got to get the shop vac out and do a proper, I don't know, winter cleaning. All right, 2 more cars to go. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I've had this many cars out here. This place is looking kind of full. At least the shelves, that is. I've got all the cars all over here. All right, we will reposition our hauler over here, ready for the run back to the yard. Because now comes the fun part. Now we get to figure out what we want to do for the, well, the next month or so probably, with all our locals. All right, let's see, we'll stop right there because I know the track is good right there. Let's go ahead and I'm just going to quiet it down so we don't have a lot of noise. All right, and then, well, of course, we always got to come over here and do a little bit of work, because here's our 2 set of cars that we took out. Let's see here. Let's do it right over here, so you can actually see what I'm doing here. All right, so there are all our cars that came into staging. First thing we're going to do, I know this is going to be kind of a longer video, but we got to get all the car cards out. And back you up a little bit more here. Let's see here, yeah. Try to keep this going in some sort of a fashion. Then we have to put all our cards away, and all our waybills before we get to picking out what's going to happen next, which is the funnest part. This is just kind of the tedious part, and I'm not going to cut it out because you guys said you wanted long videos. But let's see here, let's just kind of sort these cars out by type a little bit here. We got box cars, hoppers, box cars, and tank cars. Now what I do is I just kind of stick them back here, and to make sure that the cars are constantly rotating, hopefully you can see that, yeah. To make sure I don't just keep taking the same cars, like for instance here's my tank car, I will put my tank cars in the back. Now I don't have a ton of tank cars, so they kind of all get rotated back out. Here we go, box cars, got a few locomotives back there, just stuck in there, all my SP locomotives. Here's our gondola. Since I only got 2 gondolas, I should get more, huh? And then our hoppers, let me see. Let's see, find my hoppers in here. I think that's it. Did I have all my hoppers? 3 hoppers. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I need more hoppers too. All right, now we got to put all these away in here, although we technically don't have to right now, so I won't bore you with that. I'll do that later. Let's go have some fun and figure out what we're going to do next. So I kind of want to go down to Huntington Beach. I have not really been down here in a little bit. So we'll figure out what needs to happen over here. And basically what we're going to do, we got to do a couple things. We got to figure out where we're going to be going next in our next locals. We got to flip our waybills, and we do have to change a few of the cars around. So I know I want to switch these 2 guys out. So this guy has offloaded his stuff there. So that's these 2 right here. Let's go ahead and swap those around. I just turn them around the other side. It's only 2, it's a 2-sided, or 2 position waybill. So it's either the Industry or West Colton, which is what I call my staging. All right, so they are both going to West Colton. I'll put them there, and then I'm going to do the same thing with all the other cars that I want to switch out. We want to do jack surfboards. I want to do basically everybody here, except for, well, I don't know. We'll see that. So we'll do all 3 cars in the back there. Actually, the interesting thing, this guy's kind of technically in an off spot because he's not getting service, so that'll be different. So these 2 will get, meaning the hopper and this blue guy here, these guys will get taken away, and then I'm going to go back over here to my box. And grab one of my little off spot indicators here, because I should have done that when we put that in there. And so now that guy right there is in an off spot, so he is not getting serviced, which means that the next train that comes down over here, he's gonna move that into position. So we'll put that back there. We'll take these 2 guys and we'll stick them back there. All right, so we're switching all this guys out. We got soundtracks. Let's go ahead and do that. That's easy enough over here. We'll just flip that around. Come on. You know how it goes. This is so hard to do one-handed. Come on. There we go. And I think we are going to do SoCal Edison. We'll do everything down here in Huntington Beach and in Westminster, which if you're not familiar, most of you are, but Huntington Beach is the street and the rest of the thing, and then all this is Westminster. Okay, so I've got my two guys done there. So basically, we're doing everything in this section of the layout. That's where we're going to be working. And just to make it a little bit more interesting, we'll come over here. We'll do our gondolas. We'll switch both of those out. So let me change these guys around. And then we got to prep the cars. All right, we got those 2 guys set for getting picked up. So we're doing everything. This is Anaheim over here, so we'll do everything here and everything over here. Now we got to do a little bit of car swapping here, or well, a little bit of car stuff. See this thing right here? Let me see. Did I fix that? Yeah, I did. There we go. You can see this. I did finally. I put a couple magnets in there, as you can see, and that's it. They just kind of. They sit there, and there's enough magnetism between the 2, since they're pretty strong magnets, that they just hold on to that. So we got to put that off of that car, and we're going to come over here, and we're going to grab the next guy, and we'll stick this on him. Let me see. There we go. All right, so that's one car that we know we're going to be taking, so I'm just going to put them on the track here already. And it was a kind of a weird video, huh? All right, there we go. Now then, let's figure out how many different cars we got to go here. We got, oh, gondolas. Hold on, we forgot the gondolas. I got to do some gondola work too. Let's see here. So the whole thing is that the gondolas come in empty and go out full. So we got to put our loads into the gondolas that are going to be going out. And so basically, since I only got 2 gondolas going out at any one time, I have my nice little parts and pieces of junk which I always joke about with you guys, because if you guys are armor modelers, you might see a few little things in there that look kind of familiar. Anyway, they've been processed over here at the junkyard, and here's a whole very sophisticated load. It's just a little bit of aluminum foil squished up and you know, painted a little bit like that. There we go, we got a nice load right there. All right, those guys are now ready to get picked up. All right, so now we just got to figure out how many cars we're gonna bring out here. So let's see, jack surfboards. I think we're only going to take one. We'll take one car there. We know we're taking these two guys here, so we'll need a flat car and a wood car. I think we're going to do 2 box cars here, so that's 3 box cars so far. 4 box cars for Southern, or for Soundtrack, sorry. And then let's change out this this oil car right here, which we know we never did that. Actually, I got to change that one. That's that one is right there. It's a little side industry within an industry, because we got an oil pump over there. So within the interior of Greater SoCal Edison, which gets all their cars over here, and why not all the way down at the end over here, we've got a little Southern California, you know, crude pump over there. And so that's that one. So we still got to change that out. So let me see. What do we say? How many cars do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 box cars, 1 tank car, 2 gondolas, right? And then the flat and the wood car. All right. 4 box cars. Just got to remember that. All right. So now then, we'll come back here. We got our 2 gondolas. We're going for box cars. Let's go for the box cars. So there we go. So now we just grab the first 4 box cars. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we needed an oil tank car. Let's see. There we go. We'll grab the first one that comes up. And then, oh, the wood car. We need a flat car here. Let's see. All right, there's our wood car, 366. I just got to make sure we're grabbing the right one. Yep, 366. And our flat car. Well, yeah, we're grabbing the right one because the other ones are over there. Duh. Sometimes they get a little bit goofy. I still got to put all this stuff away. Now, I won't bore you with that part, but basically, I now go through my entire stack of waybills, go to the industry, grab the proper waybill, put them in there, and then move over, and then we can start grabbing cars and putting them into our train over here. But I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to set the camera up right here. We'll get some of this done here. There we go. So you can kind of see, just grab this one. So, because we got to do a little bit of work here too, right? Especially on the wood cars here. We'll get that one there. All right, and the lumber yard, they always bring, let's see here. So the lumber yard there, they bring lumber into the yard. And then it, you know, they break it down and whatnot, and then it gets sold off or you know, trucked out to other areas. So we got to have lumber on our train there. All right. So we got the first 2 cars down over here. So 1, 2. Now we got a tank car, which is 113. I'm just going to stick them on the track over here. Let me see. I'm going to do this so you can really see the big view here, but I'm gonna get stuff out of the way. This is sort of behind the scenes. I actually I'm gonna move this little tower because I tend to knock it over. Because of the bridge here, I need to have a little bit of clear track to get the cars on the rails. All right, there's that. Then we got 511. Well, I tell you what, I'm not going to bore you with all this. But basically, I'm going to grab all of the cars off of the, well, there you go. You guys that wanted the longer videos, my battery just died right as I was talking. But anyway, I'll grab the rest of the cars over here. We'll get them set up into the hauler, and then we will run the hauler back into the yard. And then the next video, we'll probably do that, or maybe I'll just, no, I'll run the hauler in myself. And then the next video, we'll be having all of those cars over here, and then we'll have to kind of sort them out and figure out how many locals are gonna head down to Huntington Beach and Westminster and do all our switching over here. All right, guys, that's it for now. I think this video has actually been pretty long enough, huh? So don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe and all that. And if you're not subscribed, you know, otherwise you'll miss all this fantastic model railroading fun I'm having over here. Guys, till next time, take care.